Alright guys, today we're going to be ranking my top 10 watch brands. The only thing that this is based off of is I wrote down the first 10 watch brands I could think of, and I'm going to rank them. Also, I will be using an A to D scale. We will not be using the S because growing up for me, A was the highest, and S being above it makes no sense whatsoever, so I'm just not going to acknowledge that it exists. It's going to be there, but it won't be. So, the first one is Blancpain. Where does this one rank? D, and it is purely because their flagship model, the 50 Fathoms, to me, looks just incredibly cheap, incredibly ugly. So in my mind, you get, probably a good quality watch for probably a still overpriced, price tag, and it's just ugly. If I owned one, I wouldn't wear it. So, yeah, D tier. Next is going to be Grand Seiko, which of course straight to A tier because one, they make incredibly interesting designs. They're actually innovators, which is rare now, and they make beautiful watches, just beautiful function, beautiful form, great watches. There's not a single bad thing I could say about them. Alright, so next in line is going to be Tudor watches, or Tudor watches, as the common man calls them. So to me, this one goes straight into the D tier. It is the only watch that you can spend $5,000 on, and actually, let's make it C tier. It's the only watch you can spend like $5,000 on, still have an overpriced watch, and have the luxury boys call you a brokey. There is no upside to getting a Tudor watch, aside from the fact that I like the Black Bay. And that's why it's C tier instead of D tier. That reason alone. So next we have Patek Philippe, and we're going to put that one straight into the D tier because they have very interesting, innovative designs as far as the mechanical aspect of the watch, but they make just the ugliest watches. Like, I'm a poor, don't get it wrong. I could not afford one if I wanted one, but thankfully I'll never want one. Next is Rolex watches, and I'm ranking these watches according to what they try to accomplish, right? And Rolex makes luxury watches, but at the same time, they make tool watches that genuinely could last, 100 years. A lifetime of hard use, assuming that you go in and get it fixed and all these things. But that being said, I have a lot of respect for Rolex after watching this YouTube channel that repairs them and talks about the actual mechanics of how they work. It's very interesting, very impressive. Next is Cartier, which to me, A tier. And it is completely because of the Cartier tank. First off, the brand itself is not, in my mind, one of these, rapper brands where they just keep making stupid watches with, blinged out and trying to keep up with, every little trend. They make beautiful watches, namely the Cartier tanks, which have won my heart. And I am going to get a tank. I do not own one, but I will eventually. And I just think it's an incredible brand. If I see someone with a Cartier watch, then I immediately think they're, a cool guy. Next is Omega, who's going to go straight into the B tier because they're an incredible watch brand who makes, pretty good watches. But the issue is, would I rather have an Omega or a Grand Seiko? I'd rather have Grand Seiko. Omega or Rolex? I'd rather have a Rolex. Would I rather have an Omega or a Cartier? I'd rather have a Cartier, so I can't really put it in the A tier now, can I? So that's going to be our first and probably only B tier. Next is going to be Timex, which, it's a tool watch company. To me, it's going to be C tier because, there's no Timex watch that I look at and couldn't find a Casio alternative that I like more, or watch from a different brand that just is aesthetically more pleasing. It just does not offer me anything that is incredibly special, right? It gives you a good watch at a decent price, but there's better watches at the same price point. So next on the list is going to be Casio, which to me is the better Timex, right? They make incredible watches from the calculator watch all the way to the F91W that just last forever. They're dirt cheap and they're just amazing watches, just like the Total Watch guys watch, right? In that budget category. And finally, G-Shock, which to me is the ultimate form of tool watch. If I could only have one, it would be a G-Shock because they are simply the best.